Hello, and welcome to this training on supporting students in your course. The goal of this training is to help make your classroom more equitable so that all of your students can be successful in your class. The first step to doing this is to be more present in your class and share who you are. Perhaps it's a picture of your pet or letting them know about your love of cooking or something like that. You can do that through announcements, discussions, and emails, and then welcoming students into your class to help create that sense of belonging so that each student knows that you welcome them into your class just as they are. Part of establishing a sense of presence is establishing immediacy, and that's a sense of psychological closeness or connection, which increases liking and trust between the instructor and the student and increases that favorable view of the instructor so that students will see you as more credible, more competent, and having a sense of integrity. It also increases engagement, which is what we're all looking for. To establish immediacy, we need to be very clear about having a positive tone and being very responsive to our students. And so in between that, you can use emoticons and figurative language and aesthetics and images to establish that positive tone. We can be more timely with our feedback on assignments and always use their name, for example, to create a positive tone there and let them know what they can do better instead of what they did wrong. Also, we want to make sure that our messages aren't so short that they come across as terse and uncaring, and we want to make sure that we're posting frequently in the discussions to let them know that we're there supporting their learning process because your voice really counts in your online class. We also want to build a community so that we have this sense of working together to meet the goals, sort of like you would in a drum circle. There's so much research showing how a social and teaching presence really supports academic rigor. You can do this by creating a safe online classroom, having some netiquette rules, sharing who you are, your teaching philosophy, using those immediacy cues, and then modeling friendly responses and encourage helping. Other steps that you can take to build community is to make that first contact person to person. So send the welcome video, send the welcome email, post a welcome video that really will help convey your personality, and post announcements. Then in that introductory activity where you're trying to create that community of scholars, definitely post an icebreaker so that as you respond to each student, you have something that you can comment on to provide a personalized welcome response, and encourage your students to upload pictures. And then finally, establish student hours. Let students know that your office hours are for them. In an online class, it's especially important to clarify the purpose of an assignment. What knowledge and skills can the student hope to get out of the class, and how will it help meet the learning objectives? And then we need to make it clear how they can complete that task successfully. So providing guidelines about what to do, steps to take, what to avoid, and then letting them know what they'll be graded on, and providing some samples of excellent and mediocre papers. And then in the grade book, we can really connect with the students there by using their name and then commenting on something that they specifically said and telling them the value of that before moving on to steps for improvement so that they can do better next time. And then end with some encouragement and invite them to contact you if they need more help. For outreach, we first need to identify those students who are at risk, who's not logging in, have missing work, or low or declining grades. And we can do that by reviewing the class list, grade book, and going into student progress for some students. We want to do this weekly, starting with the first week. Reach out with concern for the student first, connect with them, then address the missing work, low grades, or failure to log in. Then move on to helping them develop an action plan that will get them back on track. When we contact students, we want to connect with them via text, email, campus email, or phone. And, start out, identify yourself, ask them, how are you doing? Do you need any help? Instead of just jumping straight to, hey, you're failing, or you received a failing grade. You want to connect with them and then address the issue. After your outreach attempts, it's important to follow up with seeds, especially if you were unable to reach them. So give them a day or two to respond to your outreach attempts, then complete an at-risk ticket. You can do so individually by clicking next to their name, clicking that little icon, or you can use the multiple entries that's at number 2 there on the image, to fill out multiple tickets. Please note that there are already call cycles from the eCampus team calling students who missed attendance at the beginning of the term or who missed a proctored exam or missed making an appointment. Through establishing a sense of presence and community, using those immediacy cues, and being very clear about what's expected of students and reaching out to all students, especially those who are challenged, we can really support all of our students and make our classroom more equitable.